Hi, hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Veronica and I'm a big lover of makeup, so if you want to see more reviews, looks and more fun videos, don't forget to subscribe. In today's video we are gonna film the finale for the project pen and I am beyond excited, so if you're curious about that, please keep on watching. First things first, if you're curious about this eye look, I didn't film it, but I will list like usual down below everything that I have on my face and as well everything that we are gonna talk about. I am very proud. I did a project pen for the whole year. Last year we did only 4 months or something like that, but this year it was amazing. I really liked it and for sure I'm gonna do a project pen in 2023 as well because it was very nice. And in today's video we are gonna talk about the products that are in the project pen right now and what progress I did in the last month. But as well we are gonna count the total number of products that I finished this year and I did so great. I am so happy and so excited. And project penning in general is just amazing in my opinion. So I know that is not for everybody. Of course nothing is for everybody, but if you never tried it, just give it a try and see what rules you want to have and what products, what categories, etc. because you need to know yourself and your makeup habits. For example, in the next year I'm for sure, or at least right now I know that I'm not gonna put eyeshadows again in my project pen. Maybe in 6 months I'm gonna change my mind, but right now I know that I'm just not reaching for that palette and it is a bit useless in my opinion, and I'm not gonna force myself to do anything. For foundation and concealer, I can use them 3 times in a row, but for eyeshadow, no way, I'm not gonna do that and it is a bit annoying, so I'm not gonna pressure myself, I'm not gonna try just because I want to pen an eyeshadow, because I really don't care about that. I don't like penning shadows, so I'm not gonna do that. That is not for me and that is totally fine. You just need to know your limits. What makeup do you want to pen, and it is really nice. I really loved it. So let's talk about the products that are still in the project pen and then we are gonna talk about all the products that I finished this year. So let's start with an interesting one. I did actually finish the Maybelline Fit Me Luminous and Smooth Hydrating Primer and this is SPF 20. Of course I do recommend putting another SPF underneath. This is not my favorite primer, I'm not gonna repurchase it or something like that, but if you want something hydrating from the drugstore, this is really nice. I can't see anything wrong with it. It's not a bad product or something like that, it's just not my favorite and I'm not gonna repurchase it, but it was really nice using it, so I do recommend it, but it's not one of my favorites. Next, let's talk about a product that I did pretty poorly on, and that is the Clarins Lip Comfort Oil, and I have the shade number 10 Plum, and I don't know if you can see, I was right here and I just did a very tiny progress on it this last month. This is a decent formula. It's not the best formula out there, but it's just too pigmented for me. And right now I'm a bit unsure if this deserves a 9 because I filmed 2 videos of Battle of the Juicy Lips and this one I gave it a 9 and I don't think it deserves a 9, maybe like a 7. Not because the formula is bad, but just because of personal preferences. This is too pigmented for my taste, so because of that I think this is actually a 7. The formula is okay, it's nothing wrong with it. It is a pretty nice packaging as well and everything about it is nice, but it's just that, nice. It's not more than that. So right now I would give this one a 7. So of course this is not done and I actually don't think I'm gonna put this one in the project pen next year, maybe at the end of the year, or we will see, but it's not a top priority. Then I have the Fit Me by Maybelline powder and I do like this powder. It's not my favorite is the NYX one, but I do have a giant pen in it and I didn't finish it, of course, as you can see, and I didn't repress it yet. I am still able to put my brush in there. I could see myself putting this one next year in the project pen just because I would like to finish it up. Then I have two eye pencils. I have the Sephora in the shade Waterfall and the LA Girl in the shade Vivid, so a green and a purple. These are of course not done, and I didn't use them that much in recent looks. Today I'm using the purple, but they are good pencils in general. The purple one is just a bit harder to work with. You have to put multiple layers. So they are good pencils in general, but right now I am using other pencils as well by rotation, so that's the reason I didn't do the biggest progress on these. Then we have the Essence Matte Bronzing Powder, and I really like this one. It is a very nice bronzer. It is pretty light, so I do use a dense brush. I have the shade number 1 Natural, so it is the lightest shade. And because I can use a dense brush, I could use a pretty good amount of product each time I'm using it. So that's the reason I do have this giant pen on it. And I really like it. It is a very good bronzer from the drugstore. I really recommend it. I am using it today. It's very natural, very easy to blend. It is a powder product, but it is a more soft and creamy powder, so I do really recommend it. It is very beginner friendly. The packaging is awful. That is the only downside, but it's an amazing product. I really like it. I could see myself putting this one in 2023 again in the project pen, but maybe not in January, maybe like in March or something like that, just to have a break, because I did use this a bunch and I would like another bronzer in the project pen in the beginning, but that is just a wonderful bronzer. I really enjoy it. And lastly, we have the Cutie palette from Nabla. This is the one in Wild Berry. It is a very beautiful 6 pen. I love this quality, love this formula, love this format, love the packaging, everything about it. It is just great, but I don't like penning eyeshadows. It's not for me. I tried it. You need to know what things you like, what things you don't like, and for me this is not something that I enjoy. But next year I don't think I'm gonna put a palette in the project pen. Maybe I could see myself putting one shadow, a single shadow, like a cream, or I don't know, the Danessa Myricks Chroma Flake, something like that, just to add something to another palette. But a whole palette like this, I don't think so. So I understand now that penning eyeshadow is just not for me. Okay, and now let's talk about the total number of products that I finished this year, because like I said, I am very proud and very happy with this project pen. It was a very big success in my eyes, and yeah, we're gonna do it by category because I think that could be fun. So we're gonna start with primers, and in the primer category I did finish 3. This one that we just talked about, this is the Maybelline Fit Me Luminous and Smooth. I said that this is a pretty good one from the drugstore if you want something hydrating, but it's just not my favorite. Then we finished the ordinary one. This is the High-Adherence Silicone Primer. This was at some point one of my favorites, but right now I don't like it that much. I'm not gonna repurchase this one either. And this is a very silicone primer. It's not that hydrating, it's more like pore diffusing, something like that, but I don't love it right now. It is a good primer, but it's not my favorite, so I'm not gonna repurchase it. And the last one is the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. This is the mini one and it has a pump, and very recently I actually repurchased this one in the mini format because I don't need a lot of product. And this is a really nice one. It is a more illuminating one. I like it as a primer. I like something else for mixing, but for a illuminating primer, this is a really nice one, and I do recommend it. It is very great. Next are foundations, and there I finished 3 as well. I finished 2 Maybelline Fit Me foundations. I have both in 110. I really like this foundation. It's more like an old formula. I prefer the Catrice one from the drugstore or the NYX one, the About to Glow, but this one is a pretty nice one. I'm not gonna repurchase it just because I have other favorites from the drugstore, but overall I did like them and I am very happy that I was able to finish them this year. And the last foundation that I finished is the Stay Naked by Urban Decay. I had the shade 20NN. This was my favorite foundation, and a part of me is still a bit salty about this not being available in Romania anymore, because I don't understand why. And maybe Urban Decay is not doing that great, and maybe they decided just to remove themselves from some stores. This year I learned that I'm not repurchasing my favorites very often, and in 2023 I want to be a bit better about that. Even though this is a very good foundation and I am missing it, I don't want to order it online. I don't want to make a very big effort, because I actually tried to order it from Beauty Bay and from Cult Beauty, but they were saying that they are unable to ship to my country. So I don't know if some ingredient from here it is not okay, or if Urban Decay doesn't want to ship to my country. I don't know, but I'm gonna find other foundations that are better and that are easier for me to purchase. Next we have concealers, and in that category I finished two. This is the Born to Glow from NYX. This is one of my favorites. I had it in the favorites last year, and it is an amazing concealer. They came out with the newer one, I keep forgetting the name of that one, the one with the pump. It is a very similar formula, but this one, it has a poof at the end, and the other one, poof, puff, puff. I don't know how to pronounce this word, but the other one has a pump, and I prefer the pump. It is more hygienic in my opinion, so that is great. They are pretty similar, but I feel like that one is just a tiny bit more glowy, and I do like it, but this is discontinued, so that is that. And then I have the liquid camouflage from Catrice. This is a very loved product for me. I think I purchased like 3 or maybe 4. This is a very good concealer, but I consider the newer concealer from Catrice a bit better, so I do have that one in my collection, and I could see myself repurchasing that one over this one. Then we have powders, and I did finish this NYX HD finishing powder, and this is the mini one. This is a very good press powder. It is my favorite press powder, and I do have the full size one right now. This is a lovely powder, but I do prefer loose powder on the T-zone, and this is an amazing one for the exterior of the face, or to blend your blush and your bronzer. For stuff like that, this one is amazing, but in general I do prefer loose powders. And the other one that I finished is the NYX High Glass. This is a shimmery one, and as you can see, this pen is just completely clean. This was a very good powder for highlighting under the brow as well. I actually do miss it for that mostly, but for putting a more shimmery pressed powder or shimmery powder in general on my face is not a step that I really enjoy. And right now I do have the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder, and that one is a loose one. It's not that shimmery compared to this one, but it is too shimmery for me to apply under the eyes. So I think I'm gonna use that one in a similar way I used this one. Then I finished this mini highlighter. This is the Becca Vanilla Quartz, and this one, as you can see, it is clear as well. Very beautiful highlighter. It was stunning. Becca is not a brand anymore, but you can still buy some highlighters from Smashbox, but I'm not gonna do that because I do have other highlighters that are great as well. Next I finished a brow pencil. This is the brow pencil from e.l.f. I didn't like this one. It was just too creamy, too smeary. It was pretty easy to finish, if I may add, so I didn't enjoy that one. And then I have 3 eye pencils. I have one Inglot pencil. It is this one, very tiny. It is a black one. Then I have the black pencil from Sephora. I think it was called Black Lace. And last one, a purple from Sephora as well. This one is called Eccentric Diva. So 3 eye pencils as well. And I finished a lipstick, which is this is my pride and joy. I am very happy that I finished this lipstick. It was very hard for me to finish. I think it took me 11 months to finish it, and it was not a brand new lipstick, so insane amount of time when you are thinking about it. So every time I'm buying a lip product, I am thinking about this lipstick, and it's hurting a bit. But I did enjoy this lipstick. It was very beautiful, and I am very happy that I finished it. And lastly, I have in this tissue my lip glosses that I finished this year. They are actually 6, and I was so good at finishing lip oils, lip glosses and stuff like that. And I tested so many, and I have a pretty clear opinion of my favorites. So let's talk about the ones that I finished. I finished the lip treatment from Lanolips. This was pretty nice, but these kind of products are not for me. I do prefer a lip oil or a lip gloss. Then I finished the Essence Shine Shine Shine. It was very nice, but now I think it's called Extreme Shine. The Fenty one that I finished, this is the shade Diamond Milk, and I own right now the clear one. I have it right here because I was using this one. This is the shade Glass Slipper, very good one. And then I finished the NYX Butter Gloss. I don't really like this one. I know that it is a very known and loved formula, but I prefer other lip glosses from NYX. That one is not my favorite. Then I finished the Tower 28 Lip Jelly. I have the shade Coconut in here. This was a pretty good formula overall, but it was a pretty pigmented one. And lastly, I finished the Sigma Renew Lip Oil. I have in here the shade Tint, and I actually repurchased it in another shade. It is a very good one. I really love it. It is actually my favorite one. And lastly, I have the All Nighter by Urban Decay. This is a very good setting spray. I actually bought the smaller version pretty recently. I actually finished that one as well, and it is very lovely, but because Urban Decay is not very easy for me to purchase, I don't think I'm gonna repurchase it, but it is a really nice setting spray. So let me count right now the total number of products just to be sure, and we are gonna see the total number. So I am very happy to announce that in 2022 I finished 23 products, and just looking at them I am very happy. I want to mention as well that I'm not gonna include these products in an empty or something like that. I'm just gonna throw them away because they are empties, of course. And yeah, so if you like this video and you want to see more from me, please subscribe and give it a like, and I will see you next time.